Good morning, everyone. My name is Anastasia Casanara de Campo, and today I will be discussing to you the approaches and strategies in community organizing, specifically the Allenski and Fryer approach. So first we have here the introduction. So community organizing plays a vital role in empowering citizens, particularly marginalized groups, to actively participate in addressing social issues and influencing change. Two of the most influential and widely used frameworks in community organizing are the Allenski approach and the Fryer approach. Each offers distinct philosophies, strategies, and methods for engaging communities and achieving collective goals. So let us proceed first with the RNSP approach. It's more like a conflict-based organizing. So the Alensky approach is named after Saul Alensky, an American community organizer and author of Rules for Radicals in 1971. His method emphasizes grassroots organizing through building power and leveraging conflict to drive social change. So these are the eight core principles. First is power to the people. Organizing is about transferring power from elites to the ordinary people. So that's what it says in power to the people. And then second is conflict as a catalyst. Alensky believed conflict was essential to energize communities and spotlight injustice. So for Alensky, you get to spot the injustices through a conflict, of course. So kung walang conflict sa isang community, then you do not get to know where is the injustices. You wouldn't figure out the injustices to the community for you, and then for you to address it. So next is the pragmatism over ideology. So the focus is on practical victories that improve lives. So they do not um, they choose pragmatize over ideologies because for them it's more on the sustainable that would really improve the lives. It's more on the practical victories as it says on the number three principles. And then next is the agitation. Organizers provoke reflection and action by making people uncomfortable with the status quo. So next is we have here its key strategies. So building strong local organizations, forming people's organizations that represent the community's interest. Next is the leadership development, identifying and training local leaders, tactical action, also creative confrontational tactics like protest, pickets, and negotiations. We also have issue-based campaigns, organizing around specific winnable issues to build momentum. So its strength is effective for rapid mobilization, builds a strong sense of agency, results in a concrete gains. Its limitations can be confrontational and polarizing, may lack long-term sustainability, not institutionalized. Next is the Fryer approach. It's more on education-based empowerment. So the Fryer approach is grounded in the ideas of Paulo Freire, a Brazilian educator and philosopher most notably articulated in his book Pedagogy of the Oppressed in 1970. His method centers on critical consciousness and participatory dialogue. So these are its core principles: conscientization or critical consciousness. helping people become aware of the social political forces shaping their lives. So, as it says there, it's all about educating people, and that's the way of help to them, for them to be aware of the social political forces and to shape their own lives. So next is the dialogical method, promoting open, respectful dialogue between educators and community members. So this is all about educating them, sharing what their learnings, and also vice versa. Next is education as liberation. Learning is a tool for empowerment, not just knowledge transmission. So when you get to be when you get to know about when you get to know the knowledge between your community, then you get to be empowered because you know already what to do, what to do. So next is the praxis. Reflection and action go hand in hand in transforming reality. So they get to reflect and then go step by step in transforming the reality. Get to know if the strategy is working, and then they get to go in action hand in hand in transforming reality. Next is its key strategies. So, participatory learning, engaging the community in identifying issues and reflecting on their causes, or sa praxis, no? They get to reflect on their causes. And then next is dialogic circles, small group discussion where everyone contributes to knowledge building. Next is co-creation of knowledge, recognizing community members as co-educators, not passive recipients. And then next is the empowerment programs, initiatives that build skills and awareness to support civic participation. That is all the strategies. And the next is when you that's all the strategies when applying those principles. And the next is the strengths. So it's deep, sustainable change promotes self-awareness and lasting empowerment. Its limitation is that it's time intensive, may not yield immediate results. Effectiveness depend on cultural and educational context. For the conclusion, both the Allen's-Key and Fryer approaches offer valuable insights and tools for community organizing. Allen's key model is effective for rapid mobilization and achieving tangible results, while Freier's methods fosters deeper long-term empowerment through education and reflection. Successful community organizing often blends elements of both, adapting strategies that fit the specific cultural, political, and social context of the community. So that is all. Thank you. This is Anna Cynthia.